Okay, so hi, hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon too. So maybe we'll just wait 1 or 2 more minutes for the others. So while waiting, do you guys have a question regarding with our last discussion or any concerns with the activity or with the case studies?
None, sir.
Okay, so who attended the webinar just a while ago? This 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. The machine learning. Just give me a thumbs up if you were able to attend it. Okay, Mr. Izo, Miss Magay, Miss Elika. Okay, so three from this class. So I don't know with the others who are not here yet, but at least there are some. Okay, because some of you might have a class at that time, so that's maybe the reason why the others wasn't able to attend the webinar. Well, anyway, okay, so it's already 4:16. So I think uh, we have to start now since it's already quite late. But don't you guys worry, this will be finished right away. This one is actually quick to understand. Uh, as far as I know, you guys already have an idea what is the cloud computing. Okay, so let's start now. So let me just check if you guys are already ready. So again, just give me a thumbs up. Okay, so very good. Most of you are already ready. Okay, so first, what is cloud computing? So cloud computing is the delivery of on-demand computing services over the internet on a pay-as-you-go basis. So to make it simple, if you're using a cloud storage, let's say, of course, there are some cloud storage wherein they will give you 5 GB for free, 10 GB for free. So you don't have to pay anything for that. But beyond that, let's say you want to avail more, let's say 10 more gigabytes, 20 more gigabytes, then you have to pay that uh, storage already. Okay, that capacity of storage. Okay, but basically, when we see cloud computing, okay, it's not just a small storage. We're not talking about 10 GB. We're not talking about 50 GB. So, it's almost like a normal computer. Like, it could be the minimum could be 200 GB. Okay, so like you can run a separate operating system with that cloud storage, so that's possible. Okay, you can run your application in there via virtual machines. So of course you're going to store a lot of application in there. You're going to use a lot of their capacity storage, their say a server's internet speed, server's say processor. Okay, it's of course it's not just a simple processor, it is a super fast processor. Okay, the RAM, everything. Okay, it's like a normal computer also. Okay, but in here, okay, the faster that you go, okay, and then the bigger the capacity that you're going to avail, of course, the bigger that you're going to pay. Okay, so that's basically cloud computing. Okay, so here's a definition. Okay, so cloud computing is a standard in the field of computation. So the systems are large numbers that are connected in public and private networks. So the one that we are using, like for example, the Microsoft Word, Google Drive, Google Sheets, those are public networks. Okay, wherein anybody can access that one. Okay, as long as you have the correct IP, correct URL, correct application, or correct platform that you can use with that certain application. Okay, but when say private, so it's very obvious. So a few people only will be able to access that specific network or that specific application since it's private. Okay, so we also have the other one, which is a combination of public and private. So it is a cloud computing server wherein it has a public application or public uh, APIs that you can access anywhere, and we also have the private side of that one, wherein specific people only can access that one. Okay, so the reason behind using cloud computing is to provide an infrastructure for applications. Number one is application. Okay, like for example, Google Chrome. So that's already an example of uh, with the use of uh, cloud computing. Okay, using the Google Chrome, you can access the YouTube. So that's a third-party application wherein, of course, let's say the storages, okay, or the data is being stored into a certain cloud storage. Okay, so you can access that one as long as you have the internet. Okay, that's the advantage of having a cloud storage or cloud computing. Okay, so that should be dynamically scalable and that have been used for storing data and files. Okay, so the invention of cloud computing has reduced the cost to a much extent, and along with it, it reduces time required for application hosting, content storage, and then delivery. Okay, why? Well, since those are big companies, we're talking about hundreds of gigabytes of speed. Okay, not just a normal processor. So it could be the latest processor. Okay, well, actually, I heard that they are using a special processor wherein it's not uh, you know being used by a normal consumer. Like for example, you can have the latest. I think the latest one right now is i9. Okay, so I'm not that familiar anymore when it comes to the latest versions of AMD and Intel. But let's say that you have the latest. Okay, well, in big companies like Amazon, Google, Google Cloud, what else? Microsoft Azure. So they're using a hybrid version of motherboard, hybrid version of a processor. Okay, so it's a lot faster than you can think because it's servicing many peoples and many companies. Okay, so yeah, you can just choose the speed that you want. Okay, let's say this is the only speed that you need, then you can avail that one. Okay, but if let's say it needs more speed, then you can customize it wherein you can avail an upgraded speed of your server. Let's see the upload speed and then the download speed. Okay, so yeah, that's basically it. That's why it's being reduced uh, because since you don't need to buy that physical computer anymore for that to serve you. Okay, so you can just avail that one into a certain company, let's say Amazon, Google, or Microsoft. Okay, so they're the one who's going to do it for you. Okay, so physical versus cloud storage. So we have a lot of advantages and disadvantages. So it's also your own preferences depending on which one you prefer. But in my case, I prefer both. Okay, so I still need local storage or physical storage like flash drive, external hard drives, and then my hard drives. Okay, but if it's a project base, like you need to implement that let's say website or that file into a certain group, then this one is super reliable. Okay, because if you're always carrying a flash drive or a external hard drive, I think it's a hassle from time to time that you need to put it in and then pass it to your other group mates. So just save it via cloud so that they can access that if uh, they also have the internet. Okay, so that's the advantage of having a cloud storage. But of course, if the internet is down, then they won't be able to access that one remotely. So I think they can still access that one locally. So if you're connected in one network, but if it's in a far place wherein there is no other connection than the internet, then you won't be able to access that one. Okay. All right, so as you guys can see, this man doesn't saying that I choose this one, or this man doesn't saying it choose this one. So it's completely up to you. So it is you who's going to decide where you're going to be happy. Okay, which one you're going to choose. But just an advice, if we're talking about projects, okay, like for example, you're saving your projects in a certain storage. So why not use GitLab, okay, or GitHub? Those are examples of cloud storage services wherein other people can access that one as long as they have the or they are accessible or they can access that specific uh, root file of yours. Okay. So why cloud computing? So there's a lot of reasons why you need to choose cloud computing, but here are some, okay, that you can think of, okay, or that they can say that this is the advantage, this is the etc., so on and so forth. But yeah, let's see that this is the reality. Okay, on premise, of course, higher pay, less scalability. Okay, so let's see, you're just a what do you call this one? Small businesses. So we could actually consider that uh, you know uh, let's say one building is still a small business. Okay, like for example, maybe a C triple A. Okay, Chongsan maybe. So we could still consider that one as a small business because it can still manage in a single building. Okay, but of course, implementing a let's see, a local storage on that one is already super expensive. Okay, because every minute can accumulate maybe gigabytes of data. Okay, so let's say the products that you're going to list in there. Okay, let's say the files of your employees. What else? The applications that is being used by your employees. Okay, or the uh, uh, videos that is being saved to the CCTV cameras. Okay, so you need a lot of storage regarding with that one. Okay, so of course, higher the pay, but still less scalability. Okay, but in here, pay what you use. Okay, so it says your scale up. Of course, you have to pay more, but scale down, then you have to pay less. Unlike in here, uh, if you have so much of storage but you're not maximizing them, then you paid more than what you're using. Okay, unlike in here, uh, you're paying what you're using. Okay, so that's actually the main advantage of cloud computing. You can choose to scale up and then scale down anytime. Okay, and in here, a lot huge space for servers. So basically, maybe it will accommodate you one floor. Okay, maybe or two rooms or three rooms if it's a like for example a one building like Chongsan. Okay, and in here, of course, you don't need a space for that server since we're talking about cloud storage. Okay, so the physical storage can be found on that. Let's say, for example, I'm not sure where is the Amazon storage is uh, location right now, but let's just say that it's in Florida. Okay, so of course they have their own buildings, they have their own spaces for their servers, so they're the one who's going to do that for us. Okay, so physical servers, it's up to them. So for us, we're just uploading and then downloading the data. Okay, and then in here, appoint a team for hardware and software. So considering that one, of course, they have the let's say MIS department, okay, or the information technology department or IT department. So you have to pay those people, of course. Okay, and then the hardware that they are going to use, say the laptops, the terminals, the PCs, or whatever hardware that you're going to buy for them. Okay, so yeah, those are the things that you might want to consider if you are going to have your own local storage. Okay, but in here, so no experts required for hardware and software maintenance. Why? Because it is now the company itself who's going to maintain the software for you. They're the one who's going to update it for you. They're the one who's going to update the hardware for you. Okay, you don't need to think any of it. Okay, as long as you're paying monthly or yearly, then everything will be fine. Okay, and then in here we have poor data security. Well, this one is you know we have a lot of factors regarding with this one. This one depends on the IT department. Okay, this one also depends on the people who's accessing this one. Say the employees, the owner. Okay, so we don't know. We don't know who might get sabotage your or the security of your data. But yeah, that's basically what's happening. So of course you have to hire a expert, let's say an IT which is expert when it comes to cybersecurity, okay, in protecting your data, etc., etc. Okay, but in here we have a better data security. Why? Number one, of course, they hire a lot of genius, computer engineering, information technologies, computer sciences, okay, to secure their data. Okay, so they have a lot of layers. Like for example, they have maybe three layers before you can access their data. Okay, so you have to decrypt those. You have to see what is really happening upon this transaction from this to this, here to there, and so on and so forth. But unlike here, as long as someone who has a grudge to your company or to someone's boss might sabotage the entire data of your company. Okay, so who knows? Even the IT person or IT guy might sabotage or sell your information to the other people. But in here, you have no one to blame. It's now all about the company. Okay, so if someone were able to hack this company, let's see, Amazon, okay, then just means that they have a poor uh, cyber. What is one uh, cyber? Ano tawag doon? I forget the term, but someone who's managing the security of your company. Okay, especially when it comes to software, okay, or tawag dito, not physical, okay, the data that's being stored into their local storage, okay. And then the last one here is last chance of data recovery. Well, this one is also optional. So there are some external hard drives wherein we can easily retrieve the data that's being deleted. So with the use of application, so you can also do that one. Okay. And in here, it's of course 100% disaster recovery since we're talking about cloud computing. So if you're going to upload your file, so it is already creating a lot of copy, like maybe two or three or four copies, just to make sure that your data is safe, just in case if this server was get hacked or was get corrupted or was get caught on a fire. Okay, so of course they have their backups. Okay, and then mostly that backup is separated into that specific place. So let's say they have their servers in Florida, and if this one is down, they still have their backup. Let's say in New York, okay, which is a separate uh, physical building. Okay, so that's most likely the case when it comes to our data in cloud storage. Okay, all right, so I did a lot of talk. So do you guys have a question so far? Questions or
None, sir.
clarification? Can
None,
you
sir.
okay, can you guys follow so far with how I explain things?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so
Yes, sir.
hopefully you guys can really follow since these are just my own research wherein I read that this is the scenario, etc., etc., and then I'm just sharing it to you guys. Okay, like I'm just telling a story. Anyway, so here's more advantages versus the on-premise versus the cloud computing. So lack of flexibility and then high flexibility. Okay, so I think it's very obvious since this one can be changed anytime since this one is just a software wherein we are accessing. Unlike if you have this, oops, if you have this, let's say a specific server that you bought, okay, uh, if you want to upgrade, then you have to buy uh, a new server or a new hardware. Unlike in here, they are the ones going to do that one for you. Okay, so no automatic updates. So if it's not supported by the company anymore, that the one that you bought, okay, that physical hardware, then that's already it. Unlike in here, there's always an automatic software updates. Okay, as long as you're paying, okay, then they'll give you uh, the latest update of their software. Okay, they always do this one for the security purposes. And then less collaboration, but in here, teams can collaborate from widespread locations. Okay, so when we see collaboration, so it is now the team, okay, who manage this one. So in here, you're only limited to your employees whom you hired. Okay, so if the limitation of your employee is just that, then you cannot do anything about it anymore unless you let them attend some webinars. Maybe you let them study more, to enhance their knowledge regarding with the security of your data. But in here, so teams can collaborate. So we're talking about software engineers, big peoples from different uh, let's say companies who's going to contribute just to enhance the uh, let's say the technology of that certain company. Okay, so yeah, just imagine that one. Since we're talking about big companies, so they always have meetings, collaborations, and how to improve their services uh, with their products. Okay, so data cannot be accessed remotely. So yes, this is true, especially if it's in just one building. Okay, well, you can do that one, but of course, you are now like trying to share that one via cloud storage. So that is not possible unless you have a long wire, okay, or long cable wherein other buildings can access the data of this building. Okay, so we're talking about without the use of the internet. Okay, so that's what we mean by data cannot be accessed remotely. But in here, as long as you have the internet, then you can access that one anywhere, okay, and then anytime that you want, okay. And then takes longer implementation time. Well, of course. So aside from buying it, okay, and then setting it up, and then you have to hire people who's knowledgeable in uh, setting up a server, okay. So yeah, there's a lot of things that you need to consider when it comes to implementing this physical storage. Okay, but unlike in cloud computing, just maybe read some documentations, just read some or watch some tutorials. You will already learn on how to use their services that they are offering. Okay, so yeah, it's a rapid implementation. So just click, just type, and then you're done. Okay, just pay, of course. Of course, you also have to pay. After paying, then you already have the services that you have just available. Okay, so basically, on-premise is a no-no, and then cloud computing is a yes. Okay, so here are the types of cloud computing. So let's start with the deployment model first on the left side. So as I have mentioned a while ago, we have public cloud, okay, and the hybrid cloud, which is a combination of private and then public, and then lastly is a private cloud. And then here are the services that they are offering. Okay, so we have three types for that one, or three layers. So we have the EAS, or infrastructure as a service, or we have the PaaS, or the platform as a service, and then SaaS as a software as a service. Okay, so we'll discuss them one by one on the following slides. But before that, let's talk about this deployment model. So this is the best scenario that I can show to you guys when it comes to what is public cloud, what is private cloud, what is hybrid cloud. So let's start with public cloud. So let's just say that it is a bus, so it is accessible to everyone as long as you can see that bus, and then you can what do you call para in English? You can ask to stop that bus. Okay, so you can avail that bus already. Okay, but in private cloud, okay, so we're talking about private, so you have to own a car. Okay, well, of course, since it's private, you're the only one who can use it. So, of course, it is a lot comfortable than using a vast cloud, since this one is much more safer. Okay, since you're the only one who can access it. Unlike this one, there are other people who can access, who can intercept, who can see what you're doing since you are in public cloud. Okay, private, everything that you do, it's private. Okay, it's owned by a single person only. Okay, but in taxi, okay, so it's like, having the privilege of having the private cloud, and at the same time, okay, you won't, uh, you're not going to spend a lot of money. Okay, so let's just say that yes, this is 7 pesos. Let's say yeah, 7 pesos per fare. Okay, but owning a car, you have to buy your diesel, and then of course at the same time, you have to own a car. You have to buy your own car. Okay, so this is a big investment. Okay, and then for taxi, so you can have a private uh, filling. Okay, but of course you're just going to pay 5 more times. Okay, like for example, in this one right here is 7 pesos. Maybe 10 more times. Let's say 10 more times. So in here you're going to pay 70 pesos. Okay. So if you guys are going to think about it, this is the best way for you to be able to, have the maximum, uh, let's say, features, okay, of a certain cloud. Okay, so in a public cloud, so you're using it, let's say, for free, but your data is not safe. Private cloud, yes, it's like having your own local storage, your own physical storage, but of course you have to buy your own physical storage. Okay, and then if, let's say, you bought a 128 gigabyte storage, but you're not using the, let's say, 30 gigabyte or 40 gigabyte of it, then you're just wasting your money. Okay, so in short, you won't, you're not maximizing the money that you have spent on this private cloud. But on the hybrid cloud, okay, so you can have the feeling of having a, a safe, okay, and then at the same time you were able to save a lot of money. Okay, so renting a private taxi. Okay, anyway, so yeah, that's basically it when it comes to deployment, deploying a model. Okay, so it's up to you which one you're going to choose. So let's start with public cloud again. So the cloud infrastructure is made up available to the general public over the internet and is owned by a cloud provider. Like for example, that cloud provider is maybe AWS, Microsoft Azure, okay, or there's another cloud services or cloud provider. Okay, so I forget this one, but I think this is the IBM Blue Cloud. But yeah, this is the AWS, the Amazon Web Service, and then this one is the Microsoft Azure, and then I think this one is the IBM Cloud, and then the other one is Sun Cloud. Okay, so yeah, those are the services that we can avail when it comes to public cloud. And then here's the private cloud. Okay, so the number one that uh, the private cloud can offer is the security. Okay, since you're the only one who's using that one, then or you're the only one who can access that specific cloud, then your data is now 100% secured. Maybe not 100%, let's say 99.9% secured. Okay, so the cloud infrastructure is exclusively operated by a single organization. So it could be one company only. Okay, one big company wherein admins can only access this one. So this one is ideal for, let's say, developers. So if they are the kind of people who always, implement their data via online, and then they need a secure uh, storage or cloud storage, then this one is the choice for them. Okay, so it can be managed by the organization or a third party and may exist on premise or off premise, like for example AWS or VMware. Okay, so the last one is hybrid cloud. Again, it's the combination of both public and private cloud. So this is ideal for governments. Okay, so if you're a company wherein uh, uh, you're concerned when it comes to security, then this is a go-go for you. But if it's a public, okay, public organization like DepEd maybe, okay, so they can use hybrid cloud, okay, because some information uh, is being shared, okay, let's say data sets, etc., etc., okay, in general public. Like for example, your website, it can be accessed by anyone as long as you know the website, okay. So they can do this one using a public cloud with a combination of the private cloud, okay. So they can, uh, let's say, limit, okay, the things that the user can access, okay, with the help of this private cloud. So this is actually a best idea also for big companies. However, if it's not for commercial, like uh, only the employees will who's going to access that one, then there's no need for public cloud. This will just, you know, give you a risk when it comes to data security. However, this one is still safe, but since we're talking about public, so different people can access it, so there's still a chance. Okay, so let's say 80% secured, unlike a private cloud, only the admins or 3 or 4 people only can access that one. Then let's say 99.9% safe. Okay, so that's a number that I can give to you guys when it comes to data security. Okay, So also they use the public clouds to share these sets with general public or other government departments. Okay, so this is ideal for government departments. Okay, because they use private and public computing at the same time. Okay, so were you guys able to follow so far? So you guys have a question up to this point? Hello.
None, sir.
None, sir.
Answer.
Okay, great. So let's now move on to the right side. So they are offering, okay, three models or three services model. So the first one is EaaS or the infrastructure as a service. So if your business needs a virtual machine, opt for infrastructure as a service. So this is a good choice for you. Okay, like for example, uh, your uh, say business is using Google Workspace, say or Dropbox or Salesforce or Cisco WebEx or Concur or GoToMeeting, then ES is a good choice for you. Okay. And if your company requires a platform for building a software or product, so this is not the one that I'm talking about, wherein developers will be using this one as their server, okay, to implement their certain application or their software, then PaaS is a good choice. Okay, platform as a server, So examples of this is AWS Elastic Beanstalk, Windows Azure, Heroku, Force.com, Google App Engine, Apache Stratus, or OpenShift. Okay, so those are the applications that we can use when it comes to platform or implementing or availing a platform as a service. The last one is the SaaS. So if your business doesn't want to maintain any IT equipment, which is I would say that most of the people use this one, okay, SaaS. So if your business doesn't want to maintain any IT equipment, then choose software as a service. Okay, so example of this one is DigitalOcean, Linode, Rackspace, Amazon Web Services, Cisco Metapod, Microsoft Azure, Google Compute Engine or GCE. So this is a go-go for you. Okay. So let me just give you guys a scenario. Okay. So if you're into simulations, then go for ES. Okay. If it requires a lot of simulations, then this is a go-go for you. If your company is more on developing things, okay, then go for pass. And if your company is just a normal company, okay, so we're talking about, uh, let's say, um, Microsoft Word. When I say SaaS, because they're the one who's offering, wherein they can run your application via standalone. Okay, it doesn't require a person who's going to maintain that application. So when it comes to update, when it comes to maintenance. So you have nothing to think about it anymore, okay? Since it's a standalone application, so SaaS is a go-go for you. So SaaS is uh, reliable, okay, as long as you know someone who's going to create that application for you, okay? So like for example, developer that will be coming from PaaS, okay? So they're the ones going to develop, and then of course you as a person who avail this service, then uh, you're going to buy that one, that standalone application, and then implement that one into this uh, service. Okay, this SaaS right here. So yeah, that's basically the differences of those three. So how many minutes do we have more? So 4 more minutes. Okay, so let's have a few more slides. So ES or IS is infrastructure as a service. So it is a cloud service that provides basic computing infrastructure. Okay, so this is also a pay for what you use model. So it also this one also a provider includes Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, Google Compute Engine. Well, actually, there's more. Okay, so this one is just the one that is being listed in here, but it's not limited to these three big companies. So you can have the other uh, services also that is coming from other companies. So the users of this one is IT administrators only. So we could say that this is for admins only. Okay, yes. So here are the products that that's being offered on the internet right now. So you can have the EC2, which is coming from the AWS, okay, or the Microsoft Azure. So you can also have this one. So this is also a big company, so Microsoft and GoGrid. Okay, so we have a lot more products and services. So yeah, just try to search them on the internet. But here are the most common or most widely known when it comes to EAS products and services. So the next one is PaaS. So this one is provides platforms and runtime environments for developing, testing, and managing applications. Okay, so it allows software developers to deploy applications without requiring all the related infrastructure. Okay, so the only one who uses one is software developers. So, it's like this one is really specifically made for people who's developing a software, okay, or who's developing a game, okay, etc., etc. Okay, anything that needs a development, especially in software. So they always avail this one pass. So here are the products and services. So we have the EBS, which is again coming from Amazon Web Services. Okay, we also have the Google App Engine or the Microsoft Azure. So one thing that is quite ambiguous with Microsoft Azure is they just keep on saying Microsoft Azure in here. So there should be a category for that one. Like in Amazon, we have EC2 for EAS, EBS for PaaS, but in Microsoft Azure, it's still Microsoft Azure. Okay, so yeah. Anyway, and then for the SaaS, so here are the common applications that we are using. So this is a cloud provider's host and manage a software application on a pay as you go pricing model. So depending on the speed that you're going to build, depending on the storage that you're going to build, okay, it's also applicable in SaaS. So all software and hardware are provided and managed by a vendor, so you don't have to maintain anything. So the one that was using this one now is the end customers. So we people is always accessing a SaaS products, okay, like the Microsoft products, the Google applications that we can find on a web browser. Okay, so that's it for the SaaS. Okay, so since we don't have enough time anymore, we'll stop here for now and then we'll just continue the rest on the part two. Okay, so goodbye for now and see you guys later on. Okay, so hello again. So let's just wait a few more minutes for the others. Okay, so while waiting, anyone who has a question so far? Questions or clarifications? Mhm. So none coming from Mr. Estepa. All right. So if you guys don't have a question anymore, then let us finish the discussion now. But before that, let me just check if you guys are already in front of your computers. So just give me a thumbs up if you guys are already ready. Okay, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10. All right, so 10 out of 22. Okay, so we're done now with the three types or three service model. Okay, ES, PaaS, and then the SaaS. So here are the differences of between ES, PaaS, and then SaaS. So in here you can pronounce this one ES or IS. So either of those two. But in here it's only PaaS or SaaS. Okay, or PaaS or SaaS. Sometimes they skip those two A's. They're making it as one only. Okay, so let's start with on-premise. Okay, so since we're talking about on-premise, you're the ones going to buy your own hardware, okay, your own middleware, your own applications, your own storages, your own network provider, etc., etc. So all in all, you're the one who's going to manage everything. Okay, so it is completely up to the IT department. Okay, who's going to manage the data or the application that your company is using. Okay, but for ES or IS, okay, so applications, data, and runtime, and then middleware, and then operating system is of course is still being managed by you. Okay, the only one that it's meaning being managed by the vendor, okay, or by the certain company, so it could be AWS, Microsoft Azure, IBM, okay, is the virtualizations, okay, the servers, storage, and then networking. So this one is ideal. This one is ideal for companies who still has an IT people, okay, in their company. Okay, so if there is someone who's going to manage application, data, runtime, and then the middleware, especially the middleware, okay, who's going to connect that one into the certain server, then ES is a go-go for you. Okay, and then PaaS is just for developer. So in here, the only one that you need is the application and then the data that that you'll be needing to develop a certain application or a certain software. And then for the runtime, middleware, operating system, virtualization, server storage, and the networking is now being managed by uh, the cloud provider that you have built. Okay, and then for the SaaS, so this is for standalone, okay, applications. So all you need to do is avail this one and then hire someone who's going to develop that application or software, okay, and then you can now implement that one on a SaaS. So everything is being managed by this vendor or by this service provider. Okay, so any questions so far regarding with this comparison, the on-premises, yes, PaaS, and then SaaS. So is everything clear so far to you guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So this is actually a very helpful uh, video that I have watched. So I just simply copy that one. So credits to the owner. I think the owner of this presentation that I have right now is came from Simply Learn. So thank you very much on that one. So I hope you guys were also able to understand this one, even though you have zero knowledge when it comes to the services that's being offered in a cloud computing. Okay, so here's a real life comparison. Okay, when it comes to on-premises, ES, PaaS, and then SaaS. So on-premises, of course, everything is made at home. Okay, so dining table, water, electricity, oven, cake pan, flour, butter, and eggs. So everything will be managed by you. So you're the one who's going to buy them. You're the one who's going to make your own food, etc., etc. So you're the one who's going to pay the water, electricity, and so on and so forth. For the ES, this one is buy and bake. Okay, so all you need to do is buy that thing and then cook that one on your own house. Okay, so all you need to take care of is your dining table, the water, electricity, oven, and then cake pan. Okay, so in here it's like you're making a got that one pancake, I guess. So that is the recipe of a pancake, if I'm not mistaken. So, but I guess you need salt for this one, but doesn't matter anyways. This is just a real life example. So it's up to you now what you're going to add for those ingredients. So here's the pass. So all you need now is just the dining table, okay, and then the water. Okay, so you only need to take care of two things now. So the rest, so it's now being made from that company. So cake delivery, and then dine out is of course now or dine out or dine into that certain restaurant. Okay, well let's just call it dine out. So everything now is being managed by that certain restaurant. Okay, so yeah, that's it for the SaaS. Okay. So I hope you guys were able to appreciate this one when it comes to comparing that one in real life. Okay. Situation. Well, of course, via cooking only. Okay.
Sir,
Yes.
uh, wouldn't SaaS be expensive more though? Kasi lahat na sila na yung nagmamanage ganun.
Uh, Not all. Okay. That still depends. Actually, the main cost that you're buying. Okay. Number one is the speed. Okay. So it's like buying a virtual computer. Okay, when availing a certain service. So, meron yung iba kasi meron parang this level only, let's say, you can, anything you can imagine on a physical computer, that is the one that you're buying on a cloud computing. So, you have to avail the RAM that it can accommodate, you have to avail the storage, okay, you have to avail what else? The speed, okay, or the connectivity speed, okay, the transaction speed. Okay, so actually parang upgrade na yun eh. So you can now choose if it's HDD speed, okay, or a speed of HDD or a speed of SSD. Well, in reality, they just have the application to tweak the speed that you can avail. Okay, so it's not literally HDD. Okay, but that's just the terminology that they're using for you to be able to relate how fast it is. Okay, so those are the things that would still matter when it comes to availing those services. Okay, so uh, well, I haven't experienced okay availing those services, especially I'm not going to use them. But I think the most expensive one is the pass and then ES. Okay. Because this one is exclusive. So aside from availing this pass and then ES, you have to avail let's say categories features of it. So hindi lang dito nagtatapos 'yun. Okay? So after that, meron pang mga categories sa baba na pwede mong ma-avail depending on what you need. Okay. So that depends on the company. Okay, so sa Google they have their own terminologies. Sa Amazon they have their own terminologies. But later on, I have a short demo. Okay, on which one let's say you're going to use. Though this one is only limited for that example, but there are other services and then subcategories that you can uh, choose. Okay, so we'll have an example on that one later on. Okay, so any other questions so far? Hello, hello, Sir Joshua.
None sir. Wala na po. Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
All right. So, I'll be honest to you guys. So, when it comes to experiencing this one, so I would say that 20% only. Okay. So, nakita ko lang sa kasi yung team leader namin na gumagawa ng application. So, he's using PaaS. So, uh, he's the one dealing with the middleware, dealing with the endpoints, with the APIs, and then we are just the one who's going to develop the front end part of that program. So, yun. Hindi ko kasi natanong kung ano yung inavail nila, pero it's a pass. So, I'll ask him, okay, maybe next week since katatapos lang ng meeting namin. So, tatanungin ko siya kung magkano yung or kung papaano yung payment dito sa PaaS na 'to. Okay. So, yeah, that's it for this one. So, let's now move on to the next one. So, cloud providers. So, napakarami. So, we have a lot. So, we have AWS, IBM Cloud. Yeah. So, the one that we have uh, on the previous example. So, this is the logo of IBM Cloud. Okay. And then here is the Google Cloud Platform. And here's a DigitalOcean, VMware, or Microsoft Azure. Okay. So, you can choose any of those. So, those are big companies. So, you'll never go wrong in, choosing one of them. But when it comes to freebie, so one thing that I've noticed when it comes to freebie ba tawag doon? But when it comes to free features or free storages, okay, go for Google Cloud Platform. So they offers a lot of free features. Unlike in AWS, this one is actually this when it comes to quality. When let's just say quality, AWS is the number one. Okay, so this is the number one choice of big companies. So they're the one who's saying that they have faster, blah blah blah. They have secured more layers when it comes to security. Okay, unlike Google Cloud Platform, yes, they have a lot of free features or free offered services, but the service is kind of poor. Okay, but as a starter, well, you can choose any of those that you want. Okay, so just gut feeling. Well, you can also search on the internet which one is the most reliable and cheapest for as a beginner for beginners. Okay, if you're starting to explore when it comes to cloud computing. Okay, so cloud computing with AWS. So it stands for AWS or Amazon Web Service is a cloud service from Amazon. So remember that Amazon is only for parcel. So they're the one who's going to tama ba? Ah, forgot. Sorry. It is a company wherein you can buy products like Lazada, I guess. Okay, like Lazada or Shopee. But this one is international. Okay. So before they only have that certain say product or company, but right now they are now into cloud computing. Okay, they offer now this AWS or Amazon Web Services. Okay, so it provides service over the internet. Okay, AWS services can be used to create and deploy any type of application in the cloud. And the one thing that they are, their tagline, okay, of this company is pay for what you use. Okay, so that is their uh, signature, okay, or the tawag dito, their motto, or I forgot the term, but yeah, something like that. That is the one that they are always saying when it comes to their products. Pay what you use only. Okay, if you don't need it, then you don't need to pay it. Okay, so here's a life cycle of a cloud computing solution. So in here, you have to define the purpose. So what are the things that you really need to your business? Okay. So again, remember we have PaaS, we have IaaS, we have SaaS. So which service or kind of deployment are you going to choose? Is it public? Is it private? Is it hybrid? So just define the purpose of your business. Okay, and then define the hardware. Okay, which one you're going to use? Is it EC2? Is it Lambda? Is it Elastic Container Service? So we have to choose a compute service that will provide the right support for support where you reside the compute capacity in the cloud to run application programs. Okay, and then you have to define the storage. So is it S3 only, or is it EFS with additional features rather than using S3? Is it Glacier? Okay, so it is completely on what you only need. Okay, and then define the network. Is it EVP? Is it a Route 53? Is it direct connect? Etc. etc. So you have to define a network that securely delivers data, videos, applications, etc. with low latency and high transfer speed. And then define security. So are you going to use IM, AMS, Cognito? Okay, so it's completely up to you. So set up your security service, which enables service says for user authentication or limiting access to a certain set of users on your AWS resources. Okay, so define management processes and tools. So is it CloudWatch? Is it auto scaling? Is it cloud formation? And many more. There's actually other cloud computing solution that they offer aside from what is being mentioned here. So you can have a complete control on your cloud environment by defining management tools which monitor AWS resources and the customer applications running on AWS platform. Okay, and then testing the process. So are you going to use code star, code build, code pipeline? So pardon me with this one. So the examples right here, I'm pretty sure that uh, some of you might have already heard them, and most of you doesn't have an idea what is this code star, what is this code build, what is this code pipeline. So the one that I'm saying here, it's just the process. Okay, when it comes to choosing the service that is being offered by the cloud computing companies. Okay, so define the network, define the security, define management processes and tools, testing the processes, analytics, etc., etc. Okay, so basically this is just the common practice. Okay, on why you need that kind of service, why you need that kind of feature, why you need that kind of speed, why you need that kind of storage, etc., etc. Okay, so yeah, in analytics, finally, analyze and visualize data by using analytics services where you can start querying data instantly and get results. Okay, so here's now a demo, though it's only limited to the EC2. So this is a subcategory, okay, okay, or a tool, okay, that is being offered by Amazon Web Service. So under this demo, we have the EC2 and then the S3 uh, services only. So we have this man wherein he's a businessman. So he's saying that I have an application which takes a lot of storage and works only in the Linux system, which I don't have right now. Okay, and then here's let's say maybe an employee of the Amazon Web Service. So he said that you can store all your data in AWS S3. Okay, so to make it short, this S3 right here that is being mentioned is just a cloud storage. Okay, so there is no tricky definition of that one. So if you availed 100, let's say 100 gigabyte for $5 monthly, then that's the only one that you need to pay. Okay, if you need 500 gigabyte, let's say uh, and the price is $10, then that's the only thing that you have to pay. So basically, it's just a storage wherein you can store your operating system, your applications, etc., etc. Okay, so he said that, and you can launch a Linux instance using AWS EC2. Okay, so in here, instead of having this one only, since you're going to use a Linux operating system, so as I mentioned a while ago, then you have to use this EC2. Okay, so these features allows you to launch different operating systems like Linux, Apple, Microsoft, uh, what else? So those are the only famous operating systems that I know, and then more operating systems that is being supported by this EC2 right here. Okay, so EC2 and S3 are just three terminologies when it comes to the features or the uh, services that is being offered by AWS. Okay, so what is AWS EC2 and S3? So here's the AWS EC2 and then the AWS S3. So let's start with S3 first. So S3 is just a simple storage service provided by AWS. So this is where you can store your data as simple as it is. Okay, so you can store and retrieve any amount of data at any time on the web. Okay, and then EC2 is a web service that provides a secure and resizable compute capacity in the cloud. So it can be used to launch as many virtual servers you need. So remember virtual machines or VMware, okay, or what am I using right here? Okay, so example of those are this one, Oracle VM, VirtualBox, or VMware workstation. So this one is, of course, it's being uh, deployed now using the SaaS, the software as a service, since I am now the one who's using this one. But if this one is on the server side, then that one now is the EC2. Okay, so you can deploy your own virtual machine in there. Okay, you can buy the size of RAM. Well, of course, it's just virtual. The size of the storage, well, again, it's just virtual. Okay, so as long as you have a fast internet connection, then you can access that one completely without a problem. Okay, so yeah, that's it for the EC2. It's like a virtual machine or virtual server. Okay, so were you guys able to follow so far up to this point? Any question or concerns regarding with this demo? So I will look, or if you want to search for more features, so this one is only talking about the AWS. If you want to search more features of Google Cloud, so feel free to search that one on the internet. Okay, because if we're going to discuss them one by one, so it will accumulate most of our time. Okay, so this is just one example coming from AWS. Okay, so here's the scenario or the steps on how to avail cloud computing service. So of course, initially you're going to create an account, okay, and then create an AWS S3 bucket, and then upload files, and then create your EC2 instance, and then synchronize your AWS S3 bucket with the AWS EC2 instance, and then you can view that one via AWS S3 files on web browser, okay, with a super fast, uh, speed since it's now uh, virtual. Okay, it is not your computer who's handling the processes. Okay, that is being uh, processed to your machine. So it's a virtual server or virtual machine. So here's the step-by-step process of this one. So first, create after creating an AWS account. Okay, so this is the one that you will see. So initially they will give you this one Amazon S3. Okay, so that's the default feature that they will offer to you. Okay, that you have to avail, of course. Then of course you have to pay that one also at the same time. So depending on the size or the capacity that you have availed. So in here you can create a bucket. Okay, so a bucket is just like the storage, okay, or an API. So after creating a bucket, so to upload, blah blah blah. I think this is very straightforward. Just create a bucket, write here the name, okay, and then choose the region. Okay, so this is also a big uh, what do you call this one? This one has a big impact when it comes to creating a bucket. So bucket is like a server, okay, or like a URL wherein it is only accessible in US, and let's say if you choose another region, it's only accessible to Asia, it is only accessible to Europe, etc., etc. And that will also, give you a big impact, especially if you chose a region of, let's say, Canada, but your customers or the people who's going to access that one is coming from Asia. So the latency is already super far. Okay, so that is one thing that you might or you must also consider. Okay, so that is not an option that you might want to consider. So it's a must. Okay, because if you're going to choose a four region, okay, and the users or the ones going to use that service is coming from far place, then speed is the one that is being compromised. Okay, so in terms of implementation, buckets and objects are resources. It's basically just a file, okay, or just a folder. And Amazon S3 provides APIs for you to manage them. Okay, so for example, you can create a bucket and upload objects using the Amazon S3 API. You can also use the Amazon S3 console to perform these operations, and the console uses the Amazon S3 APIs to send requests to Amazon S3. So this API right here is like a middleman. Okay, so just by accessing this API, wherein you can find that API, let's say in the certain server, this is the one who's going to connect that one into the server, okay, or into the bucket, that is being mentioned here, especially if that region is quite far. Okay. And after creating a, let's say, a bucket, so just put here the name of that bucket, choosing the name of the region. Okay. And then just click next. And after that, you now have that specific bucket. Okay. So what is the date created, and then what region is that? Okay, and then after that one, you can now go to overview and then upload a certain file. So you can upload an object, set object properties. Okay, so it's quite complex since you can edit who can access that one, that file that you have uploaded in here. So you can set object permissions. Okay, and after the one, just click upload, and then let's say you want to upload the index, okay, of your application. Okay, then here now is the index.html. Okay, and then if they open this index, then it will lead them to this specific URL or that website that you have just created. Okay, so it's like you have now virtually uploaded your uh, data. Okay, or your call this one website on that web service. Okay, so then sync the AWS S3 bucket with AWS EC2 instance. So as a result, you can view AWS S3 file to EC2 instance, then view with the use of a browser. Okay, so this is the given URL, which is 54.224, since this one is just in the viewing mode. Okay, and yeah, that's already it for the EC2 and then S3. So I think this one needs more explanation, but yeah, anyway, when it comes to learning about the features of cloud computing, so you really have to avail it, okay, for you to be able to experience that one on your own. So this is already a good representation or example for you guys to have an idea what is really happening on a cloud computing. Okay, so yeah, that's it for the intro to cloud computing. So, any questions so far or clarification?
None, sir.
All right. So, just to give you guys a heads up, I was actually planning to group you guys into, I don't know how many groups yet for now, but I was or I am planning. Okay, so it's still not yet over, still on the process. I'm still planning to group you guys, but I'm not sure yet how many groups and then how many people per group. Okay, I was actually planning to let you guys present one cloud computing services. Okay, so for now we have we have this one right here: one, two, three, four, five, six services. So if this one became final, okay, so one group will present AWS, okay, and then the payment method, the things that you can do with AWS, the features that it offer, the services that it offer, how fast uh, is the speed that it can offer, how large is the capacity it can offer, etc., etc. Okay. Well, of course, before that, you have to uh, say go over with the short history, brief history on how did they come up with such service, say cloud computing, AWS cloud computing, IBM cloud computing, Google Cloud platform, etc., etc. So yeah, so just to make you guys ready and prepared, start exploring now those given cloud computing services that we have in here. Okay, so just look or just read a short background on what is AWS, what is IBM Cloud, what is Google Cloud, and what is the advantage of IBM Cloud over the others, what is the disadvantage of VMware, Microsoft Azure over the others, etc., etc. Okay, so it's basically a comparison okay, on which one is the best when it comes to this, which one is more reliable when it comes to uh, speed, maintaining the quality of the service, okay, etc., etc. Okay, so yeah, that's it for now, and let's wait for my announcement if ever that it's already final. Okay, so if you guys don't have a question anymore, then just give me a thumbs up and then you guys may now go. And thank you guys for coming. Okay, so thank you and goodbye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you too.
Bye, sir.
Goodbye and thank you too.
Bye, sir.
Goodbye.
Thank
Bye,
you.
sir.
Goodbye.